Hello, hello, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Perennial 2024, once again on our semi-finals Saturday. We just came back from a surprisingly one-sided match between the number 2 and number 3 seed, leading Bob to secure themselves top 3 in the winners finals bracket. But next up, we got another really good match between two really close seeds. We got Together We Are Terrific at seed 6 and Hatsune Miku at seed 8. Both very strong America's region teams duking it out for their run staying alive in this tournament. I'm Shiva once again joined by the wonderful Dio.
Good afternoon, Shiva. We had a quick 15-minute delay for this match. I believe it was Arnold was not home in time for the original start time, so short delay getting this started, but we're into it. Together We Are Terrific with Takedo, Rectagon, Window Life, Freddy Benson, Boshiman, Decaton, Caleb, and One Tabby. Hatsune Miku with Arnold, intercamming Mathy, Kama, Woodchi, Riot, Will Cookie, and number 37. As you said, Shiba, two very strong America's region teams. If you don't know, the Perennial is a tournament that this year adopted regionally restricted team compositions. So teams have to be either all North and South America, or all Europe, Middle East, and Africa, or all Asia, Australia, and Oceania. So these two, of course, America's regions. Both of these teams with some very good qualifying scores. Together We Are Terrific played qualifiers with 5 players. I don't think they've had a single match so far where they've had their entire roster, and I don't think that's going to be the case here either, with Anime Expo going on in California right now. A lot of these players either at LAN or away from home, one way or the other. And so you can kind of expect limited roster choices for them on some of these maps. Though same for Hatsune Miku with Woodchi away at Anime Expo, and some similarly good qualifier scores, particularly on the DT and Fremont pools for Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, I'm looking at quite a lot of potential from both of these rosters, even if they're running a few missing players. I think the biggest nerf that we're seeing in this matchup is Rectagon being Rectagon and Boshiman both being restricted to LAN setups at Anime Expo. I think that's going to be the biggest issue that this team is going to be facing, seeing as Rectagon is most likely to be one of, if not their single star player on this team, along with Boshiman being their precision and gimmick specialist, who's very heavily reliant on these maps to perform, especially on maps like the Normal 5, the Free Mod 2, the Hidden 2, etc. So that weakness might be pried open and leaned more for Hatsune Miku, maybe more of a comfort pick to be used later on in the future. But I'm looking forward to this match. I think both teams have a really sharp duality with their strengths, not only having a couple really powerful all-rounders, for example, Hatsune Miku having players like Intercamming, Mathy, Together We Are Terrific, having players like Takedo, Rectagon, having very powerful players from both respective teams being quite flexible, but generally you have a very strong lean into mechanics and you have a very strong lean into gimmick, specifically hidden, reading, etc. Hatsune Miku has players like Will Cookie, number 37, and Arnold, who can really perform well on those hidden and gimmick maps. So I'm looking at that to be a particular strength that Hatsune Miku want to abuse, especially with that lack of Boshiman being around. I think it's definitely going to be one strength into Hatsune Miku. But Together We're Terrific. What do you think, Dio? What are your thoughts?
I'm thinking some of the mechanics picks. Yeah, you have very good mechanics players for Hatsune Miku, but particularly some of these hard rocks, I think, will be very good for Together We Are Terrific. In addition to stuff like the Nomad 1, and maybe we'll see something like the Nomad 5, or some of the DTs get picked up for Together We Are Terrific. That said, Hatsune Miku, I think, can contest more on those speed maps. So I feel like those are going to be kind of some later stage picks that maybe neither team want to lean into right out of the gate. And I think to start things off, we'll probably see some of the modded picks, some of the hard rocks for Together We Are Terrific, some of the hiddens or free mods for Hatsune Miku, and we're going to get a couple of bans here, starting off with the Nomad 4 ban for Hatsune Miku, banning out some of that kind of gimmick and tech here, the alt-tech hybrid map, custom by Megafan. Unfortunately, not going to be seeing that one, and yeah, as you said, the low AR hidden banned out for Together We Are Terrific, not wanting to play that into Hatsune Miku with a very stacked low AR reading roster, and Hatsune Miku may be giving away that they don't really want to play some of the aim control stuff, so maybe Together We Are Terrific picking into that as well throughout the course of this match.
Yeah, I don't blame him for that at all, honestly. Together We're Terrific have a lot of really dangerous control alt players, especially Decaden, who I think is definitely the leading player who everyone is looking at to be the biggest threat for this team on that skill set. You also have Takedo, who's just generally really, really flexible, can very easily be very, very dangerous on practically anything, especially those header maps, and especially the free mod maps. I'm really curious as to how the free mods are going to be approached in this, because last match between Mum's Touch and Bob, we didn't get any of those free mod maps picked. So maybe there'll be a bit of a change of pace this game. Hopefully we'll see something played, because I really want to see Tatakai played. I think that's one of my personal favorite maps in this ball. I really want to see that locked in. It's a really fun control map, and I feel like with the telemechanics and control, that's an option that I think both teams have the possibility of leaning into. I think more Together We Are Terrific than Hatsune Miku, but still there and still present. Possibly used as a late stage pick. But these bans make a lot of sense so far. And as you said, giving away that potential in control tech weakness. You've got some maps that Hatsune Miku can be a lot more considerate of. No Mod 6, No Mod 3. You've also got the Hidden 3, which is more of a slider jump map, but still there in terms of that hidden and control. Still very present. So I'm just so excited for this, man. I really don't know what exactly is going to be the big breakaway for either of these teams. They both have some really strong maps and both have some really strong tusslings. But for Together We're Terrific, that opening pick is going to be No Mod 1.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe we'd see the Hard Rock Tour, the free mod 2. Those are the two yet unpicked custom maps in the pool. Haven't seen those at any point so far. If you do want to see Tatakai played Shiba, you can go back and watch the VODs from last night. 3 and 4 UTC matches. I think both played that map.
Oh, hell yeah.
But unfortunately, not going to be the first pick here. It's going to be No Mod 1, as you said. Gekka Midare Botan by Eve, mapped by Nameless Player. This is some 200 BPM long aim consistency at 4 minutes and 54 seconds. A lot of flow aim strain in this map, some 200 BPM follow point streams at some points in this map, plus a lot of other space streams generally throughout, and lots of space bursts, as well as a little bit of aim control with some patterns that go from, top to bottom vertical jumps to bottom to top vertical jumps without anything in between them or any triples to stop the momentum there at the bottom of the screen. Plus some overlapping jumps that make reading a slight challenge on this map. I think most players should be pretty okay with that at this level, but it is something to consider, especially if you are somebody who likes to sight read No Mod 1s. It may not be the best idea with a map like this.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a very, very dangerous map. It's got a lot of really volatile but still very difficult patterns that can really trip you up if you're not prepared for them. And on top of that, the spikes on the main Ki at times are going to be probably the biggest points where we're going to be seeing a lot of misses. That, plus the intro and the very end of the map, are where you're going to be seeing a lot more of that difficulty really hit you in the face. Of course, that being a traditional No Mod 1 on top of that, it's not too traditional, but still has those aspects. And in turn, of course, we have to talk about that big question mark consistency on this. It being 4 minutes and 54 seconds long, that giant combo gain is really essential. And anyone who's able to break away through one of those difficult sections and hit those verse parts are going to be really, really valuable building up into the later stage of the map. Takedo, Freddie Benson, Rectagon, and Decaden here for Together We Are Terrific. Not a surprising roster, to say the least. Freddie Benson and Decaden, very powerful aim players alongside Rectagon and Takedo, who are most likely going to be staples of this team throughout the entirety of this match. You're probably going to be seeing them for the majority of this. Hatsune Miku, Riot into Camming, Karma, and Arnold. Not surprised with this one either. I like this team. Riot into Camming, especially, pretty strong aim players who have shown their volatility and consistency on something like this. I think Karma and Arnold are also perfect fillers for this team. But I am definitely looking at Together We Are Terrific to be the favorites on this one. It's very powerful aim. It's also got a lot of really dangerous flow aim. Players like especially Rectagon can really abuse on this.
We're into the first map. As you said, the rosters for both of these teams ready to go. I'm particularly looking at Freddie Benson, actually, as somebody for Together We Are Terrific, just to shout out someone who has made a more recent return to the game. For a lot of newer players, maybe somewhat unfamiliar with Freddie Benson, but has been very, very strong in a couple of tournaments recently. Hippo Cup comes to mind as somewhere that he has really, really shown off. And with a very similar roster as that's the one you see on the left-hand side of the screen here. But that's a full miss for everyone on the first follow point stream there. Intercamping and Kama able to hit it for Hatsune Miku. Riot as well able to hit it, but not on the full combo. So 2 FCs out the gate for Hatsune Miku, still left standing after that first diff spike flow aim pattern. And together we are terrific on the 4-way recovery now, but there's still a lot of map left. This is a 5-minute no mod 1, so there's a lot of time left for these full combos to break, for these recoveries to build back up, or for it to go the other way. And we're going to get into another one of those diff spike patterns in just a minute here, or rather a diff spike section here with the first KI time. Jump spacing increases. Arnold finds the first miss. You get some of those back and forth overlapping jumps, and Arnold to miss once again on another one of those patterns. The space stream claims Arnold's combo, and now suddenly it's combo advantage back the way of Together We Are Terrific. You've got the FCs on Intercamping and Kama, but that's it, and everybody hits the big jump section at the end of the first KI time.
That is a beautiful performance there from Together We Are Terrific. Despite that early miss on the flowing section, the jumps, where it really matters, don't seem to phase this team at all. This full North American squad are decimating this map so far. But Karma and Intercamming are still very present, still holding on to those full combos despite the drops from Arnold and Riot. If any of those recoveries from Together We Are Terrific are to go down soon, that combo might start gaining and becoming more and more dangerous here on the side of Hatsune Miku. Arnold does go down, but that 4-way massive recovery here for Together We Are Terrific are still very present and very dangerous here. Riot is able to build up a little bit of recovery of 300 combo. Not really able to contest much, but able to at least slow down the moving train that is Together We Are Terrific's run. Next KI time now to come through. Riot goes down once again. You're really banking on someone for Together We Are Terrific to go down as that slowly starts to shrink away out of Hatsune Miku's reach there. Nobody still from Together We Are Terrific is going down. Intercamming and Kama still holding on to the full combos. Big jumps as to come through. Freddie Benson finally goes down. Arnold trades it. None of the other trades though. This is still really close. 3-way big recoveries, but still 2 full combos on the side of Hatsune Miku. But I think this combo is going to start building up to the degree where it's getting a bit more one-sided in favor of Together We Are Terrific. Arnold goes down once again. Freddie Benson also joins him, but it's the same drops from the same 2 players from the previous KI. Still remains to be the 3-way massive recovery and the 2 full combos. Big stream section to come through here. Nobody is missing. This awkward lower BPM section hasn't tripped up anybody just yet, but it still very much can. Karma's the first to go down on that section, and that's a big one there. Now, advantage hugely solidified in favor of Together We Are Terrific. Takedo may go down, but it's still a 2 versus 1 in the giant combos. And it's up to the final third now. Intercamming has got to keep his team alive and pray for a double miss from the 2 remaining combos.
Yeah, Kama finally dropping the double S there during the Sentimental Skyscraper jumps. Was on 0-100 so far and will finally drop a miss first. But as you said, it's the big combos. It's Rectagon and Decaton versus Intercamming right now. Some better support for Riot and Arnold than for Freddie Benson and Takedo. But the score lead still moving in favor of Together We Are Terrific. There goes everyone. All the big combos are gone. It is Riot and Arnold with slightly higher combo for Hatsune Miku. We're into the ending now. Riot will drop the biggest combo in the lobby. It is Arnold and Kama versus Takedo and Freddie Benson. There goes Arnold, and I think that may just be the map. 75k is not a huge score lead, but there's only so much combo to be had for Hatsune Miku to try and stage a comeback here at the very end of the map, and it's not going to be enough. Kama's run was nigh miraculous, but we don't believe in miracles here. That is not going to happen. It's not going to save the pick for Hatsune Miku. Together We Are Terrific will not be broken on their first point. Freddie Benson with combo into the end. Decaton and Rectagon to support there. And that score lead now over 100k at the end of the map. Very solid run for really the entirety of the roster for Together We Are Terrific. 500k going to be just about the lowest score there for Freddie Benson, just under that 500k mark. And that is very, very solid. Both Riot and Arnold below that mark. And yeah, you don't have anyone matching Intercamming or Kama, but it's once more the overall team consistency, the 4-man roster that matters the most, especially with that 630k and 620k from Rectagon and Decaton pulling up the shoes a little bit there for Together We Are Terrific.
Yeah, I think even then, this was a very close map. Incredible consistency for the majority of Together We Are Terrific, just holding on to such a giant, massive combo, only losing that chain by about the 760 combo mark. But Hatsune Miku were very threatening for the majority of the map. Those 2 full combos from Carmen into Camming were really dangerous up until towards the very end, where the difficulty hit a peak, and those recoveries were finally the ones that really mattered towards the end, and that in turn went into the favor of Together We Are Terrific. A great first map to start this off. Hopefully we see more maps as fun as that one. It's up to Hatsune Miku now to even out the playing field with their next pick, and considering how dangerous of a roster that they have, I'm expecting maybe a hidden pick here. Savior might be a valid option here. You've got some really strong aim players who are comfortable on that hidden, like into camping especially. That plus your really deadly hidden roster, I wouldn't be surprised to see this be picked next.
Yeah, I think I have to agree, especially with the hidden 2 first ban from Together We Are Terrific. It just gives away a discomfort on the mod, right? Usually, you know, if you have a problem with a particular map style, you're banning out, you know, a particular tech map or a particular awkward aim map. But if you're just banning out low AR reading, it's often indicative of a team that is generally a little bit less comfortable with hidden as a mod. Maybe you can go into the free mod 2 as well for Hatsune Miku because of that. But I definitely wouldn't be surprised to see either the hidden 1 or the hidden 3 get picked here. You know, the great thing is, Shiba, though, all the maps we're talking about are custom maps. So a lot of the best picks for Hatsune Miku kind of feel like some of those customs that are left in the pool at the moment. So we'll see if they ever do want to go into those. And if Together We Are Terrific happen to get Boshiman to sub in here, maybe we can see the Hard Rock too. But instead, it's going to be a different type of custom. The custom song this week, Are We Floating in Space by Blobdash. An original made specifically for the Perennial 2024 semifinals. Big thanks to Blobdash for the song. This one's an awesome song and has a really cool background made by Neperoni for this map as well. Map by Devious Panda, and already has pretty much a full set. So if you are a normal player, 4-digit, 5-digit, 6-digit, whatever, there's difficulties for you to play on this song as well. This one, however, for the top players, very, very cut stream focused, very, very aim control focused. Constant 190 BPM stream patterns can be a little bit of a drain on the stamina, but really you're looking for the control on that flow aim in the midst of those constant 190 BPM streams that just never stop throughout really this entire map. There are a lot of high curvature patterns and some weird stream angles to deal with, but the main point of this map is that cut stream aim.
Yeah, absolutely. Cut streams are the name of the game with this one. As you said before, a little bit of a hit on the stamina, but not the main focus that you're looking at here. On top of that, you've got quite a bit of a difficult section towards the second chorus and towards the ending bit, where it brings in a lot more cut doubles than it does cut streams. Plus this intro section, you're going to be seeing a lot more of those stamina-heavy bursts and kind of quads kind of back and forth amongst each other, but in the second chorus and later on, it's going to have a lot more of those cut doubles and really rapid aim switching that some players might not be as prepared for as others. I wouldn't call this one a very sight read friendly map. You got to really get yourself in the right mindset and right game headspace to get into this one, especially towards the end where the final KI just adds a lot more difficulty in its aim control with some cut back and forth streams that are really tricky and really deadly if you're not ready for them. I'm looking forward to this one. I feel like this one could be a huge clash in battles here, because you've got a good balance of stream players and control players. I think players like Takedo, Window Life, 100 Bomb, and Decadent are all very prominent. The same with the entire roster of Hatsune Miku here. I think Karma is a player from Hatsune Miku that I'm looking forward the most to performing on this. I feel like you've got that perfect balance of stream ability and aim control that can really pop off on this one. I think Decadent, despite not being necessarily known to be a strong stream stamina player, at this BPM can be very, very deadly. So those are two players that I'm looking at for Hatsune Miku to perform really well on. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to this one. I think this is going to be a really fun one. Once again, as we said before, Perennial original by Blobdash, mapped by Devious Panda, Odyssey, difficulty.
Let's get into it here. This map does not pull any punches at the start. You have a couple of intro patterns here, and then you get one of the hardest cut stream patterns in the map right out of the gate. This kind of repeating, decelerating cut streams that require almost circle aim in order to hit them. It is really, really tough. Let's see if how many of these players break on that early miss for Window Life. Arnold and Kama both breaking on the pattern I was talking about there. And now we'll get into just some of the longer streams here. A little bit of free combo during this section, but these cuts are still very, very difficult. There's no two ways about it. Window Life going to be dropping once again. Arnold going to be dropping once again. It's Riot Ninja Camping versus Takedo, Decaton, and Rectagon on the full combos right now. 4 together, we are terrific. And still holding right now. There go Riot and intercamping. That's all of the combos gone for Hatsune Miku already. Just Kama with any high combo for the team. And the still three-way full combo for Together We Are Terrific, a third of the way in, and already looking extremely good. Takedo will drop, but it just doesn't matter. 300,000 score lead by the time a third of the map is gone.
Yeah, this is a ridiculous early stage lead here for Together We're Terrific. Takedo and Rectagon able to keep those full combos intact with very good accuracy as well, considering how difficult this map it really is to keep your accuracy up, especially with the possibility of a chain miss if you miss even a single fraction of those cuts. Still keeping that composure in is brilliant. Window Life as well, trailing not too far away with a really strong project combo, outshining all of the recoveries here from Hatsune Miku outside of the remaining combo from Kama of 600, trying his best to try and climb and at least contest one, but it's not either of those full combos. And as we get to more of a control cut double heavy section here, control adds a little bit more difficulty in this one. Window Life, Riot, and Intercam all go down, but not the major combo for Hatsune Miku. Decadent though is going to drop, and that leads Kama to have one more opponent to try and contest on. But Takedo, hold on, whoa, what was that miss? That's a recovery combo shut down very quickly. And we're going into the final section now where you have those back and forth streams like I mentioned before, and generally that aim control and the lengths of those streams really start to spike, especially in terms of spacing. Look at those circle patterns here, really, really tough, ending up leading to a drop from Arnold, but Karma remains to be the one intact here. Rectagon, though, is not giving many room, and there is simply no room left here for Hatsune Miku. These recovery combos are able to contest the entirety of their team. On top of that, Karma, their only big combo, is being completely shut down by an outstanding score here from Rectagon.
This score is just insane, man. 99.5 Aki is still on the FC, and looks like he's going to finish it out with 99.4 on the map. Absolutely nuts full combo for Rectagon, and that is a first pick misfire for Hatsune Miku. There's just no other way to say it. You lose the first pick by 570,000. You get the other team dropping 600k and 460, 490k even on their lower scores, and that's just not a good first pick, unfortunately, for Hatsune Miku. It's a little salt in the wound with the full combo from Rectagon. They didn't even need it. He could have dropped 500k and they'd be fine on that map. So Kama with a great score, 860k, but that's unfortunately all to write home about for Hatsune Miku on this pick, as they're going to be down 2-0 after their first pick on this one.
Yeah, I mean, even then we had a little bit of doubts about Rectagon's potential performance here, considering that we know that he's currently at an event and playing on a LAN PC, not in his most comfortable position, but still even being able to do that is just exceptional. Brilliant accuracy, brilliant score, and a great slap in the face of Hatsune Miku's opening pick. And that's a little bit worrisome. If that is their guarantee trying to get the momentum starting on, if that's their biggest potential pick, I'm a little bit worried for this. Together We're Terrific instantly continuing to gain on that mechanics and aim powerhouse that this team has, both dominating on the No Mod 1 and the No Mod 2, able to go into everything will freeze up next.
Yeah, and this is, I feel like this can be a good pick for Hatsune Miku as well, but I need to see Mathy hop in the lobby first to really be convinced of that, right? It's everything will freeze. It's the time freeze difficulty. Everyone knows this map. This is a classic from back in 2015, I think, or 2016 when this was ranked. And just, actually, no, 2014? Might have been 2014.
It's an old map. Submitted 2014, ranked 2015.
Yeah, no, that checks out with the timing. I was just remembering kind of the early leaderboards before Cookies is unbanned, before she gets unbanned. So yeah, old map took about a year to be ranked, but has been a staple ever since for high skill cap speed players, and at this point is now tournament poolable in semifinals, which is crazy. It's 240 BPM stream stamina. There's not much else to say about it. There's a little flow aim, especially in the last Ki time of the map. That flow aim gets ramped up to 11. But this is something that if you are good at 240 stamina, you're going to be good at the map, generally speaking. Riot, Arnold intercamping right now in for Hatsune Miku, waiting on their fourth And there's Matthew. Okay, so this
There we
actually
go.
is now scary for Together We Are Terrific, right? You have Matthew for Hatsune Miku here, and suddenly this is a very scary roster for them to compete against. Rectagon, Window Life, Taquito, and Decaton in for Together We Are Terrific. Also a very, very good speed roster, but this definitely seems like a map that can kind of go either way between these two teams.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. This could be a Clash of the Titans level of kind of map here. All 8 of these players are very capable of some really dangerous scores, but I think, as you mentioned before, Matthew is definitely the outlier in this one. That him and Rectagon are probably the 2 players that I'm looking at to be the most dangerous here. Matthew being the highest no mod score, the highest player on the leaderboards of this map in ranked. So one of the only players, I believe, maybe outside of one more, I can't be bothered to look through the whole list, but yeah, he is the highest score in the leaderboards out of this lobby. And so definitely having that comfort, being able to know that he can full combo this map, having this up in tournament makes him very, very threatening. But so far, so good here. On both teams, really. Not any major breaks outside of a few early game trades. Rectagon is going to go down alongside Window Life trading not long earlier. Arnold and Riot having been the ones who missed on the side of Hatsune Miku. Into Camming, still holds on to his full combo. Matthew breaking a little bit earlier on. It is Decaden, Taquito, never mind, not Taquito, just Decaden, who also goes down into the Ki. Into Camming, means the last man standing here, Hatsune Miku holding on to the full combo as we get into the first Ki section here. Not as difficult as the sessions that we'll see later on, but still very stamina heavy. With a player like Into Camming, it doesn't seem to mean much for him as he hits that entire stream with beautiful style. 98.63 Akon score V2 on this map is no slouch at all. Window Life, the only player to be able to contest him with Rectagon on the side here. No competing combo really on the recovery side of Hatsune Miku. You're really banking on Into Camming, who is praying for another miss on the recovery side, and it will be Window Life to go down. Rectagon and Decaden contesting Into Camming so far.
Yeah, this is still looking good right now for Hatsune Miku to try and take a breakpoint back, but Rectagon and Decaton are on those big combos on the opposing side, and that definitely is a little worse. But there goes Decaton on another chain miss. Ooh. Arnold will follow it up with a break on the aim, so it's Intercamping and Riot versus now no one for Together We Are Terrific. It's only Taquito with a little bit of combo there, mostly matched by Matthew. Riot will go down in trade, but it's Intercamping, the only big combo, the only FC left in the lobby, still going strong on 1200 here, is dropping a couple hundreds on these streams, but is able to keep the 99 and keep the full combo through that section. Beautiful. Now into the last third of the map. Still going with this FC and a 200,000 score lead for Hatsune Miku. This is why we said this is a scary roster to play against for Together We Are Terrific, because aside from the name value of players like Matthew and Arnold, who are known for their speed, Intercamping is just a ridiculous all-rounder and so good on the DT, the hard rock mechanics, and that definitely extends to picks like this.
Yeah, 100% translates to something like this, and you can see him absolutely destroying this map here. Side jumps come through, left and right jumps could lead to a bit of a slip up here. Quite notoriously awkward, but not going to be the case. He is going to hold on. The recoveries here from Together We Are Terrific are there, but nothing compared to the combo that Intercamming is still holding up into the final Ki. It all looks like it's going to be up to him to keep this intact. We could potentially see a flip if everybody falls apart on the side of Hatsune Miku. Recton goes down. A four-way miss if Together We Are Terrific, but can Intercamming hold it on? Still hitting this entire section. Final strip to come through.
No!
No, he's down. But what was an incredible run from them before will be the single-handed carry to bring Hatsune Miku their first breakpoint and a point on the board at last.
I was so hoping for an FC in match, man. That's so close, but ridiculous score nonetheless for Intercamping. I mean, no other way to put it. Hard carried the map, right? Yeah. You have 470k for Taquito on that map as the top score for Together We Are Terrific, and just compare the rest of the lobby, right? 380k for Riot, 390k for Rectagon, 350k for Matthew, 360k for Window Life. Yeah, Arnold is ahead of Decaton, but Taquito makes up for that if Intercamping drops a similar score as the rest of the lobby. So they needed him to get that big pop-off score in order to win that map. It didn't need to be 800k. It could have been closer to 500k or 450k, but he needed to put up a really good score for his team, and he delivered on that one. Very well done for the all-rounder carry for Hatsune Miku. Very happy for them to have him on the team once again. And now, if you win that, maybe you think about going into that double time 2 the other kind of pure speed pick in this pool. DT3 exists, but it's a tech map. And so even though it's 270 BPM AR 10.3, it's not necessarily something that directly corresponds to, okay, we're good at speed, we can definitely pick this. That's more up the way of Double Time 2 in this pool. So we'll see if they want to go there, or if maybe they want to slow down a little bit and go for something like the Hard Rock 3, a little more focused on the flow aim rather than the speed, but still very stamina intensive and very stream heavy at 195 BPM with consistent streams all the way through, but it is just going to be that DT2 after all.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing in this DT2, it is a very finger control heavy map. Not your traditional stream stamina, but still very stamina heavy. It has a lot of consistent singles into triples into singles again, repeating itself over and over. Players like Karma, the man who pointed out the pick himself, very dangerous on a map like this. Also Mathy, widely regarded to be one of the best finger control players in the game, period. So this pick for Hatsune Miku, I think, is very, very promising. This has a different level of mechanics that not many players that are well-rounded can really match to, especially consistently with a full combo in match, unlike players like Mathy and Karma. So I think this is a great pick for Hatsune Miku. You still have a few threats here from Together We're Terrific, of course. You have to talk about Rectagon, you have to talk about Window Life as well. So both players very powerful on this Double Time. We might see an appearance from Caleb, depending on how he feels on this map. Quite a strong speed control, finger control player. Might able to contest that. Takedo at this BPM, not too sure, might be able to contest on this, depending on how he feels, but Hatsune Miku, I mean, easily Mathy and Karma to be the biggest threats on this. I'm not doubting that at all.
Yeah, and I think that kind of just makes sense for the roster. Again, you win the Nomad 5, it is a pop-off score from intercamping, but it's still going to be something that's very, very good for you. And it looks like we actually don't see Mathy in right now. Arnold does swap out of the lobby, though. Window Life, of course, going to be very good for Together We Are Terrific. And you mentioned Takedo. I think Takedo's speed has just gotten kind of overlooked given his history as a tournament player, because on stuff like this that's a little less stamina focused, a little more bursty, a little more finger control heavy, Takedo can be extremely good for any team that he's on. Especially this is not high approach rate where Takedo starts to struggle at 10.3, 10.5. But even then, as a reading player, can still perform well on those sorts of maps. So I feel like his presence on the side of Together We Are Terrific makes that DT3 a little bit worse of a pick for Hatsune Miku, and still makes this dangerous, but not quite in the same way. And Hatsune Miku, I think, should still be the favorite on this one with, as you said, Kama, Mathy, and intercamping. Riot, also a very good speed player, did have a little bit of a rough time on the Nomad 5 last map, but honestly, who didn't out of the other 7 players in the lobby besides intercamping? So no harm, no foul there, as we get into it now. The Double Time 2 for the first time this weekend. Very, very
finally
finger control burst heavy with all of these very low spacing linear flow aim jumps in this map.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, lots of singles into triples consistently, really heavy in that finger control. And like you said before, like you don't even have to have that many just consistently long streams. This level of switching back and forth from single tapping into burst can really take a toll on some players' down depending on how their tapping style is. So that can be really dangerous for certain players, but so far so good for everybody here. Only Rectagon breaking just earlier on in this intro section. Outside of that, everybody's still looking really nice in their combos here. That translating into a really close score difference of about 7k, closing in very quickly on accuracy drops there. Freddie Benson is going to be the first to drop it Together We're Terrific, former #1 player in the world, struggling a little bit on this massive controls happening section. Riot is going to be the next one to join up, and as we get into a consistent chain of singles into bursts here, we're seeing a lot of players here still managing to hold on, but into camming is going to be the next to go down. Together We're Terrific now flipping their favor on the lead here. Window Life, Takedo, and Rectagon all holding on still. Takedo and Window Life holding on to their full combos here, and as that difficulty starts to ramp up into those doubles and 1/3 sections here, everybody still continues to hold on. Together We're Terrific pull through that difficult section past the halfway mark.
Another break for Freddie Benson to come through, but that's not who you need to break if you're rooting for Hatsune Miku here. It needs to be one of these big combos as Kama and Matthew are doing what they can. There go Takedo and Rectagon, 2 big breaks, and now it's only Window Life against the world here for Together We Are Terrific. Hatsune Miku instantly taking the score lead back, now already over 100,000 in their favor, as the support is there from Riot and intercamming. The FCs are there for Kama and Matthew, and there goes Window Life as well. It's a full team delayed wipe for Together We Are Terrific versus the two-way full combo still going strong. Look at the accuracy for Kama. 99.84 on this is absurd accuracy. That's 2 100s dropped now throughout the entire map for Kama. Matthew's still on the FC as well. Riot and Intercamping on better combo than anyone for Together We Are Terrific, and this is over. Blowout, 700k score lead or more by the end for sure for Hatsune Miku, as this is just domination from this team.
Kama, this is disgusting, man. Look at you holding on to still brilliant accuracy. Finally, it dropped towards the very end, but granted, the things become sliders, and that becomes way more difficult and taxing on your stamina. Matthew will also go down earlier, but it does not mean anything, man. You got great recoveries from Takedo and Window Life, but not enough. 750,000 score blowout here. Kama and Matthew, like we said before, promised. The promising players absolutely destroyed on this, and one miss, 99.73 accuracy. What is this score from Kama? One miss and 3 100s on a map that is arguably some of the hardest to act DT maps in this tournament. What the hell is that score, man?
Yeah, the next best 100 count from Matthew at 26. The next best combined 150 count from Takedo at 28 and 2.
What?
And Takedo we praise as somebody who has very, very good finger control. Very, very good control on these, speedy finger control picks. Kama just absolutely decimating that, and 3 100s, 1 miss is completely insane accuracy. Incredibly good score. 1.1 million for him by himself. And we are now doing the second round of bans between these two teams. So staggered ban system here in the Perennial means that we are now going to get into Hatsune Miku's second ban, followed by Together We Are Terrific second ban. You have to think after that score from Kama, maybe Together We Are Terrific think about banning out the DT3, whereas for Hatsune Miku, the Nomad 1, the Nomad 2, going the way of Together We Are Terrific, maybe you feel like banning out something like the Nomad 6 or something like the Fremod 3, unfortunately, for you, Shiba. But I feel like that even might be an okay ban. Aside from that, maybe something like the Hidden 1 or the Fremod 1 if you don't want to deal with that more awkward aim. Again, I do think Together We Are Terrific have a lot of very good hard rock players and DT aim players, not necessarily the DT finger control and speed players, where I definitely think Hatsune Miku has the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit the nail right on the head there. You're really unsure of exactly what they want to ban, but you have a genuine vague idea of what both of these teams are afraid of, especially seeing it proven earlier. Mechanics is a very slippery slope from both of these guys. They're really, really strong on it. I'm not sure what they want to lean to, what they want to avoid. It's a big uncertainty here. I think one thing that we haven't talked about yet is that potential Fremod 1 and DT1. I feel like DT1 could be a complete flip and potentially a very powerful and deadly late stage map that with nerves could decimate someone's hopes of winning the match. And with Warp coming in, really strange but really awkward and very sporadic aim. It's got those cross-screen linear back and forth jumps that are really scary, but with Fremod applied, at that hard rock and at that hidden, both of these teams are really dangerous. So I'm curious to see if that one's going to be leaned into later on, but for bans, Hard Rock 2 for Hatsune Miku is going to be shut down. I think with that looming fear of players like Boshiman and Rectagon and Takeden, I'm not surprised. Really deadly map, so sadly, Takane Custom is going to be shut down once again. But for the ban from Together We Are Terrific, I think, honestly, I'm not too sure. I've got a few maps in mind, but nothing certain.
I like Hidden 1 as a ban for them, maybe.
Yeah.
And I like the Fremod 1 or the Fremod 3 as a ban for them, maybe. We'll see exactly where they want to go with this. It is interesting. Both teams banned out the... And actually, it's Nomad 6, the ban for Together We Are Terrific. So I think that makes a lot of sense, too. Talked about that earlier with... actually, a potential ban for Hatsune Miku with the Nomad 1, Nomad 2 going the way of Together We Are Terrific. So I'm a little actually confused at that ban because I do think they would have been okay on that, but it does kind of match up with the finger control generally being very strong for Hatsune Miku, and we get a pretty instant Hard Rock 3 pick here for Together We Are Terrific. So this time, the team who lost both previous tapping picks going into the quote-unquote normal Nomad 2 here or make a quick escape, but it does have Hard Rock on, and some of the players who are very good speed players for Hatsune Miku, not really too into that Hard Rock, namely Arnold and Matthew, really not particularly enthusiastic about playing Hard Rock. So we'll see how well this works out for them. I think the mod choice is good. The map choice is a little weird given the maps we've seen so far, but definitely a lot of times I feel like mod comfort is something that is a little underestimated, as even at the highest level, players still have their preferences, and when you ramp up the difficulty like this, semifinals is a half star rating higher than the round of 16 and quarterfinals pool. So when you ramp up the star rating like this a lot, that mod comfort starts to come into play a lot more for these top level players, where in early stages maybe it doesn't matter as much because the maps are just relatively easy for them.
I mean, like you said before, Dio, this map pool was made to weed out the good from the great, right? The best teams in the world are now showing up at this stage of the tournament, and that's why we got to see some of the much more difficult maps start to show up. That's why Time Freeze Snowboard 5 is in this pool. I mean, a lot of difficulty increased in this one. And with the caliber of players, I'm not surprised at all. This pick is no different. Really, really difficult levels of a very conventional, but very difficult flow aim. Really precise, really high spacing, and quite stamina heavy as well. Loads of really long chains of streams that consistently come over at you. And with the high spacing flow aim, not being too sporadic, but being very spaced out, especially towards the later stages of the map where it gets crazy levels of difficulty where chain misses are really prominent. I'm expecting to see some really exciting potential pop-ups here. Intercamping and Rectagon are two players I immediately look at to be very, very powerful on this. And I know you mentioned that Matthew isn't necessarily a player who isn't as comfortable on this stream's Hard Rock flow aim, but we've seen him in previous tournaments perform the Hard Rock mod on multiple free mods. So I think he has a degree of comfort on this Hard Rock. What matters here is how powerful the spacing will take a toll on him. I think for the rest of this team, there are a lot of uncertainties. I think I'm worried about Decatur's potential stamina on this map. I know he's a good tapping player, and I know he's played Yomi Yori, but the stamina does worry me, especially with the ability and the UR of this Hard Rock, not UR, sorry, OD of Hard Rock applied on this. But I'm excited for this one. I think this one could be a huge clash, like we've seen for quite a few of the maps coming up here, Dio. So yeah, let's get into it.
Get into it indeed. Rectagon the first to break, actually, kind of an unexpected break there from Rectagon, one of the best Hard Rock stream players in the game, full stop. Matthew and Decatur will also break, but it's a three-way FC versus the two-way here right now for Hatsune Miku in their favor. Freddie Benson and Window Life holding for Together We Are Terrific. Decatur finding another break there right before the start of this next difficult section, but the combos for Hatsune Miku still looking very good. Accuracy for intercamping leaves something to be desired, but the combo is still there. There goes Matthew, Window Life, and Wuchi. A better trade for Together We Are Terrific. Kama also dropping, and now it's just intercamping the Hayak FC down, but there goes Freddie Benson as well now for Together We Are Terrific, and the combo lead now squarely with them as intercamping finds the drop as well. Everyone dropping all over the place, and look who it is in the top left corner. We said it was an unexpected break at the start. Well, hopefully he can show why here. Rectagon still holding the highest combo in the lobby and on 99 AC for Together We Are Terrific, the full North American squad with the person who, yeah, doesn't really play 1v1s, doesn't really play North America tournament, but I think in many people's eyes is undoubtedly the best tournament player in North America.
Absolutely, keeping his name up there. You don't forget the name of Rectagon on a map like this, especially. The break comes through, final third. King Hard Rock, King Rectagon still holds on to a fantastic recovery combo. Early miss be damned, keeping this team excelling in that lead. And as the spacing starts to ramp up to a maximum here, a lot of players are starting to fall apart. Wuchi, Karma, Matthew, Freddie Benson, so many players are dropping down. Window Life with a 200 combo, trying to contest into Camping's potential combo hit again. But as it starts to slowly creep into the final third of the map where it gets too difficult, Rectagon may go down, but the rest of the map is simply too hard here. Intercamping is trying his best to keep it going, and he's doing a great job, but not enough to suppress the imminent recovery scores here. Window Life's recovery is absolutely phenomenal. Even if Decatur and Freddie Benson are breaking at consistent level, you still have that recovery able to contest, and with Intercamping's dropping there, that is spelling the end of the road for Hatsune Miku on this map. Matthew with a good recovery here, just unfortunately not enough, too little too late. Window Life finally goes down, but 400,000 score, even if it decreases just a little bit, it's just not going to be enough. Too little combo, too late of a time to do it. And as it gets way too difficult on this map, everyone's going to start falling apart here. Decadent, though, is holding on to some pretty spicy combo on the peak of this map. The spacing wraps up to 11. An absolute ridiculous level here. And Decadent is on an absolute spree. Finally drops, but still secures the win for his team. Together we're terrific. Get another point. It is 3-2. The lead is now theirs.
Yeah, and even without the 550k from Rectagon, just put his score down to 430k, and they still win that map easy, as the lowest score, 430k for Decadent, still better than 3 out of 4 scores for Hatsune Miku. And Intercamping, yeah, did find 470k. It's better than everybody besides Rectagon, but it's not high enough to solo carry the map or anything. So together we are terrific, just outclassing Hatsune Miku by a little bit here throughout really the entire map. Better accuracy for a lot of their members as well. Nobody below 97 on their side. So a very solid pick for them, with everyone feeling comfortable on that map. And now for Hatsune Miku, you had the Nomad 2 pick go awry, but the Nomad 5, the DT2 have gone well. Usually that would mean just pick DT3, but this is Tech DT. It is very reading heavy. Somebody like Takedo can be good at that, but I think Hatsune Miku, with how big the score lead was on that DT2, should still feel relatively comfortable picking into that double time 3 here. We'll see if they end up going with it. If not, I think one of the hiddens or one of the free mods here could be pretty solid for them. I hesitate to pick Nomad 3 as Hatsune Miku, given how that Hard Rock 3 just went. Those are relatively similar maps. The Nomad 3, a lower BPM and a little more aim control, but still very focused on the super high spacing flow aim to an even higher extent than what we saw on the Hard Rock 3 there. So I think generally speaking, stick to the hidden, stick to the free mods, or pull out the DT3 here for Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, looking forward to this pick now up from Hatsune Miku. Now it's back to even grounds here. No breakpoint differences at all. Hatsune Miku now need to get to the next pick and hope they can even out the playing field once again. Double time 3 is their next pick. This is your techie, bursty DT. Not your traditional DT3 speed. It's got a lot of those really rapid sliders and pretty rapid finger control. Not as severe as the DT2 that we saw earlier, but that is complemented easily with its incredible slider aim. With the AR 10.3 applied as well, very, very dangerous for those who aren't experienced on this type of skill.
Yeah, you pretty much said it all there. It is a super tricky map. We've seen this a lot this weekend. I think this is picked in the majority of matches so far, just because it is something that if you are a very, very good DT player, if you have high BPM burst and finger control, and you can read the higher approach rate on this, you're going to be very good at it. And that's a smaller subset of players than you might expect, but also a bigger subset of players in the tournament scene in particular than in normal gameplay. So a lot of these players can be very, very strong on this. And this is one of those maps where if you get a couple of really good scores, sometimes there's not a lot of comfort on the opposing team, especially with their supporting scores. So it can be enough to just win the map. We'll see if that's the case here as we get into it. Decadent and Takedo and Window Life currently in for Together We Are Terrific. Riot, Kama, Mathy, and Intercambing in for Hatsune Miku. And again, Kama, Mathy, Intercambing, the players to watch out for Hatsune Miku, as they've really shown up on the last couple of speed picks. Intercambing on the Nomad 5, Kama on the DT2. Mathy putting up the better supporting score on both of those, I believe. Of course, Riot also doing very solidly on the Nomad 5 earlier. The DT2 especially, Matthew with 930k, a little overshadowed by the one miss high accuracy score from Kama. Still 930k, better than anyone on the side of Together We Are Terrific. So you're definitely looking at those two here. Rectagon, the last player to join Together We Are Terrific, as we get into a very short pick here, 1 minute and 30 seconds. One of the shortest maps in the pool, so players have to be ready for this pick going into it.
Yeah, this is bordering on TV size levels of length here, so any big combo, especially by the intro section, is really invaluable for this one. As you mentioned before, players like Kama, really, really valuable here. Once again, a player that I think could really dominate on something like this. Matthew as well, very capable. So once again, a solid pickup in Hatsune Miku for the same reasons that that double time 2 was picked previously. And as we get into that Ki section here, early misses consist from Riot and Decade and Window Life dropping earlier on in the map as well. Takedo's going to go down too. Rectagon last man standing with that recovery of 200, 300 climbing. But on the other side of Hatsune Miku, this is a really, really dominant intro showing so far. Past the halfway mark, Matthew, Karma, Intercam still holds on to their absolutely magnificent combos. And they're still hitting everything here. Riot, despite dropping earlier, does not care. Still holding on to 300 combo. And all 3 players hit through that Ki. It is an absolute destruction from this Hatsune Miku team on the CT3.
And it's the 3 players we called out at the start. Matthew will find a miss there right before the last quarter of the map, but Kama and Intercambing still going with the full combos. Intercambing will drop, but it just doesn't matter. 99.6 act for Kama, down to 99.5, but it is still the Kama accuracy show here on this map, same as on DT2. It's not going to be quite the same ridiculous 100 count for Kama on this as on the DT2, but it's a full combo with 5 100s for Kama here. And that is just absolutely insane. 1.7 million for him. Matthew on 730k, only matched by Takedo, who we did expect to do well on this map as well. Very good score for Takedo, but then you look over in the bottom right and it's another 670k for Intercambing versus pretty much everybody on 400 or 350k for Together We Are Terrific. And that is a hell of a good pick for Hatsune Miku.
I mean, when Kama's given the maps that he is strong on, he performs, man. Always so consistent and reliable on those specific strengths, and he's letting this out in spades, man. Carrying Hatsune Miku on a really dominant spree. Great accuracy on a map like this. I mean, it's cooked. The guy's cooked. He's cracked, like Matthew says in chat. And it's back to 3-3, man. This is starting to get a really close series here, Dio. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to get really tense. It's up to Together We're Terrific now to, once again, go for a pick that can go into their next map point. What is that going to be?
I want to see Hard Rock 1. I think this is a team that can do very well with something like that. It opens you up for the DT1 afterwards. It potentially opens up the free mod 1 as well. You have players like Takedo who can take the hidden on that, whereas I think on the hidden 1, hidden 3, maybe the rest of your roster, you know, you look at the best players for Together We Are Terrific, not a lot of hidden players, right? You've got Rectagon, you've got Window Life, you've got Freddie Benson, you've got the Kaiten who, yeah, can play hidden, but generally prefers the Hard Rock. So a lot of these players that are in on a lot of these maps for Together We Are Terrific, mostly Hard Rock players, but the exception of Takedo, who can take that hidden for them. They're going to go Nomad 3 instead, though, and I think this also makes sense. Again, the Hard Rock 3 earlier for Together We Are Terrific, their last pick, something that they were just better on for each and every member than for Hatsune Miku. So I feel like this just makes a lot of sense. It is similar enough as to still be a good pick on paper for the red team here. WWW by Kijibato, not by Tynamo. This is 166 BPM super space streams. Super low BPM flow alt, whatever you want to call it. There's a little aim control and a lot of super high spacing flowing.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head there. Very high spacing flow aim alt. And effectively low BPM streams, to be honest with you. And like you said, stats talk, man. If last week this Together We're Terrific outshine Hatsune Miku in almost every aspect on this kind of skill, then if you can match another map feature in the pool, you make the most of it. And at this stage, kind of midway through, I think it's fair. It's safe enough to go for. And you still have Milk Crown Cinetica to be picked later on as well. I think a map that is very capable for Together We're Terrific to win on, considering their caliber of aim players with that Hard Rock play on top. But still, a really solid pick for them here. You've got quite a lot of players that can really dominate on this, especially players like Decaden, players like Rectagon, obviously, is going to be good on everything. Takedo as well, quite strong on this aim control. I definitely like this lineup. I think there's a lot of potential on this. Window Life seems to be coming in as well here for Together We're Terrific to wrap up the roster. Hatsune Miku bringing out Intercambing, Karma, Arnold, and a mystery fourth player. I'm curious about who that is going to be. Potentially Riot, or maybe, can't be Matthew, I don't think. Maybe Karma? Oh no, Karma's already in, never mind. That's going to be Matthew to be filled in if Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, and with that, the roster's locked for both teams. The start command out. Should be getting into it in just a moment. And I think these rosters make sense for both of these teams, but still definitely favored toward Together We Are Terrific. Players like Decaton and Taquito especially very, very good on ult. Of course, Rectigon, you have to pay attention to him on a map like this, can put up a very, very good score. And Window Life, despite not really being known as an ult player on something like this that's a little less in control focused and a little more flowing focused, I think can do very, very well. But it's a lot of early breaks for a lot of people, and ever so slight combo accuracy lead and score lead for Together We Are Terrific because of it, particularly the accuracy for Arnold and Matthew. Not doing too hot right now as Kama and Arnold find breaks here, and now it's just intercambing, and now no one with an FC here for Hatsune Miku. Matthew is not quite on that FC, did break on the very first pattern of the map, so reverse choke for him. Close to matching Taquito, but Decaton also holding that high combo. Window Life on a better recovery means score lead for Together We Are Terrific. In addition to that ACK lead with everybody above 97.8, excuse me, for them. And only Kama and Intercambing above that mark for Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, as we get into that little Ki section here, the spacing starts to remember just a little bit here with those follow points now being applied to these sections here. Arnold is going to go down. Doesn't seem like anybody else just yet, but there's a double misstep from Together We Are Terrific. That's a big one there. As that lead starts to close in just a little bit, the recoveries here from Hatsune Miku are going to be a little bit more dangerous now, as it's now 2-1 in those major recoveries. Decaton, though, is going to go down, and that's a big combo down now. Matthew on his lonesome with that full combo still intact here. 98 accuracy as well, looking beautiful here. Hit those space rotating sections. 801 combo still secured as we get into this verse here. Intercambing and Kama still holding on to their 500, 600 combos and climbing now. Taquito is going to go down once again. Down goes Arnold, but not the combo that you're looking for if you're Together We Are Terrific here. There is a lot of leeway here for a potential breakpoint as we get past this halfway mark, and we get into a little bit of a slowdown section here with the spinners. A little bit of a break for our players. Decaton, though, is going to break on one of the single notes here. And we're going to get into a pretty tame slider aim section that I don't think is going to trip up anybody. I think it's going to build a lot of combo.
It's about the worst time to break if you're Decaton right there.
Yeah.
Matthew with 1,000 combo. Kama and Intercambing both matching the combo from Rectigon, and only Window Life with any real combo on the rest of the roster for Together We Are Terrific now with that break from Decaton. So this is looking very much like a break point for Hatsune Miku. There's still time for a comeback to happen. Everybody hit that stream going into the ending here. It's a question of how long can these big combos hold. There goes Intercambing. That's 1 down, but 2 to go for Together We Are Terrific to take this back. They need to hold and they need misses soon, as this score lead is going to start to get into the realm of no return for Hatsune Miku. Still growing with these high combos for Kama and Matthew. Decaton having a lot of trouble with this one, also breaking here near the end. There goes Matthew, but there goes Rectigon, and now it's just Kama and Window Life. Window Life drops as well, and the break point secured for Hatsune Miku now, up 4-3 with the next pick for themselves.
Kama still holds on to absolutely fantastic combo building this up. Despite missing earlier on with that 600k, 99 accuracy and great combo. Recently just dropped down, but still fantastic performance from him, leading just under Matthew here, evening out with 630 combo from both players respectively. Not contested by anybody on the side. Together We Are Terrific. Rectigon being the only closest one to that with 560k and climbing. It is an incredible breakpoint here for Hatsune Miku, who will finally get a lead ahead of this team. And it's up to them now to try and extend that even further. Now make that 2 points up. Finally, a breakpoint has been divided since the first 2 maps played here. Is this going to be the next chance here for Hatsune Miku? Hidden 1 is still open.
Yeah, that is just an unlucky break for Together We Are Terrific. Not able to find good combo basically anywhere, and double 660k for Kama and Matthew means even Rectigon's score of 560k just isn't able to compete. As you said, the Hidden 1's still open. The Hidden 3's still open also. Still a lot of places for Hatsune Miku to go here. We'll see where they end up thinking is best, but we've got all the nomads down now, so everything from here on has to be a modded pick. Hidden 1, Hidden 3. Hard Rock 1 is still open, but that's likely a pick for Together We Are Terrific. DT1 still open again, probably a pick for Together We Are Terrific. If you feel good on something like the Nomad 3, potentially DT4 could be an option here for Hatsune Miku. Same for the Free Mod 3. Those could also both be options, honestly. So I think something like the Hidden One, the DT4, the Free Mod 3 feel like the best picks right now for Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head there, man. You've got a few open choices here. Hatsune Miku have a bit of time to decide for themselves. They have this lead finally after a good while. Together with Terrific kind of holding that momentum stage where their next pick will always be the one to give them the lead. I think Hatsune Miku taking their time, giving themselves some thought here. Like I said earlier, Hidden 1, a very valid option. Hidden 3, potentially. Free Mod 1, also quite valid, but you might be a little bit worried about, you know, Boshi Mantikita potential on that one. Tatakai is also open, a map that I think Karma and Mathy, like the last few control maps that they played, can easily abuse. We did also say that might be Together We're Terrific ban. But it will be DT4, Torino Uta, their next pick here. Again, a pick that I don't blame at all. I think this is a good pick for them. And an absolute banger at that. Get to cast this map once again. Very nice.
Yeah, it's AR10, 183 BPM. Once more, a little flow and what?
Wait, did he mistype?
He may have mistyped. I don't even think DT1's a good pick. I think they should stick with this one, personally.
Yeah, I think DT1's very coin flippy. I feel like DT4 might be better.
All
okay.
Right.
Looks like it'll be DT1.
I guess so. So yeah, we are gonna get DT1 here for the blue team if Laser would cooperate. There we go. So yeah, again, 270 BPM AR 10.5 DT aim for this map. Definitely feels like something that Together We Are Terrific do have the players for, do have a good roster for. Especially players like Freddie Benson are so good at this DT aim. I expected this to be a pick for them, frankly. Especially with the Nomad 1 win earlier and the potential Hard Rock 1 pick still looming in the distance. I feel like this just opens up that Hard Rock 1 pick way more if you do lose here for Hatsune Miku. That said, a lot of their best players this match have been players who are, generally speaking, pretty good on the DT high approach rate stuff. Players like Intercambing, Kama, Mathy, all very good DT aim players. And we've really seen them kind of define this match for Hatsune Miku. So I feel like if you are just picking into the players who feel best right now, this can be something that works very well, but at the same time, I feel like the DT4 is also something that is pretty good for them. So still a little confused, but not entirely, just given who is doing really well right now for Hatsune Miku. These members in particular, I think, feel very strong in the context of this match, not just in the context of the overall roster.
Yeah, this is a strong core that these guys have been running for a good while now. I'm not surprised to see them coming in here, but I'm still worried for their odds on this. I feel like this was one of those maps, like I mentioned earlier, to be one of those kind of late game toss-up picks that you really kind of don't want to lean into unless you play chicken with it for another team to pick. You don't really want to pick those clashes, especially when you already have maps that you kind of know you have a bit of advantage over. So yeah, I'm surprised to say the least to say this, but yeah, Together We're Terrific have some really deadly players on this. I mean, Freddie Benson, Decaden, especially. Two players that I'm looking at to be really deadly on something like this. Both are known to have some really proficient skills in that DT1 skill set, both being very powerful double-time aim players in both solo and in tournament. And of course, you can't count out Rectagon. Takedo, I believe you said Takedo struggles a little bit on the higher AR. Am I correct, or was that a different player that we talked about?
He definitely can when it gets very high. But on something like this that's very straightforward and AR 10.47, I think he should still be okay. And of course, experience as a reading player definitely does flow over a bit into these higher approach rates as well. Everyone looking super comfortable at the start here. Only a very, very early break for Riot and a slider break or miss there for Rectagon. So combos traded, but in the favor of Together We Are Terrific as another break comes through for Mathy right after Rectagon's. So both teams with pretty similar score lines, pretty similar combos. Takedo missed the last jump in that section leading up to the first PI though. And now it's combo advantage back the way of Hatsune Miku. Kama and Intercamming matching the full combos from Decaton and Freddie Benson, and Riot on a better recovery here than either Takedo or Rectigon. Everybody hitting that first PI time aside from the build-up. And now you have once more just pretty even game state, but slight lead in the combo and the score for Hatsune Miku. But it is only 20k right now. It is still neck and neck between these teams.
You still have Freddie Benson Decating holding on to their solid full combos here. Intercamming and Karma are able to at least fight back. Rectagon and Matthew are fighting out for that duel on recovery, but generally the mass combo here is in favor of Together We're Terrific, where they gather a little bit of an advantage now as it starts to climb here. But that break from Riot earlier on, it kind of takes away that disparaging difference there. And as Rectagon and Takedo start to build up here, those full combos are going to be really complemented. That Intercamming goes down, traded by Takedo though. Those two full combos still remain intact here. Karma still holding on, and there's the break. Hatsune Miku know that they're at a little bit of a disadvantage now. They're really banking on this final third. As the jumps start to really hit a maximum, you're hoping for somebody to crack. But if you're looking at Freddie Benson or Decaton to crack, you're asking for a really tough thing to happen right now. They are on an absolute tear, really good. Actually, Freddie Benson as well, #1 player in the world, back when these types of skill sets were the absolute meta. Really powerful double time aim player who is showing the absolute pinnacle of this skill set at this moment. As we get into the final PI, build-ups come through and jumps start to extend. It all comes down to the ending section. It's starting to become too little too late here for Hatsune Miku, as this starts to become a glooming, dooming mistake that they have decided to lead into here. Unfortunately not working out, as Karma trying his best to try and contest Freddie Benson, but as everyone starts to break on the hardest sections, it remains to be Freddie Benson who's still hitting all of these sections. Karma as well, trying to fight back. Karma hits the entire section. Freddie Benson may drop, but it's still not enough. Together We're Terrific will take the breakpoint and even out the playing field once again.
That's a great FC from Kama, and honestly, solid scores for everyone on the side of Hatsune Miku. The lowest score there, 660k, but 1.05 million also for Decaton, 830k for Rectigon, matching Matthew, who's the second highest score for Hatsune Miku. It's the top end there that does the work for Together We Are Terrific. 2 S ranks for Hatsune Miku, but just doesn't matter, as Together We Are Terrific better overall on the top end, to the point where even their third player is just as good as Matthew on that pick for Hatsune Miku. So a mistake in the pick there for both teams, as we tie up once again 4-4 between these two rosters. An update on the other match that's going on right now, by the way. We do have European Goats versus Rikma 5 winner. That is the match that decides the team which the winner of this one plays. The winner of this match plays the winner of European Goats versus Rikma 5 winner. That match currently at 1-1. Hidden 1 and Nomad 2 picked so far. If you do want the MP link for that match, that is in the command, and we'll switch over to that as soon as this match is done, because this one's a banger so far. Kept it tight, kept it close, and hopefully we see that continue in both of these matches, so we get to catch a lot of the other one as well. But for now, the next pick to come for Together We Are Terrific, you win the DT1. Maybe you start to consider that Hard Rock one a little bit more. I feel like they don't really want to pick into the hidden. Again, a lot of their best players not really hidden players, though the same can be said for the players who are popping off right now for Hatsune Miku. So maybe we see that go a little untouched in this match. That leaves the Hard Rock 1, the DT4, and the entire free mod pool, and it is just going to be the Hard Rock 1 for Together We Are Terrific. Milk Crown on Cinetica by Nameless, mapped by Milan. First time we're seeing this pick this weekend as well. Some 250 BPM, pretty straightforward Hard Rock aim. A little bit of the same kind of style of slightly overlapping jumps as in Nomad 1, but everything else completely straightforward here.
Yeah, I agree. Milk Crown on Cinetica is a pretty iconic song, quite well known for a good long time to be a really powerful aim song that has influenced a lot of mappers to make some of the hardest aim maps out there. And this map being no exception, adding Hard Rock Applied on top of it makes it really, really precise and very sporadically difficult, but still very conventional in its styling. You're not really looking at anything crazy or awkward. You are looking at some consistent, I guess, I don't really know how to explain it, but you have like sections that consistently come back to you all the time. Like you have a few moments where you just get a bunch of jumps and a few sliders and a bunch of jumps again. Like it kind of keeps coming back to you, and it's very consistent in that regard. Only a little bit of a giant disspike towards the very, very end of the map, but even the build-up towards the final Ki remains to be the same level that you would see throughout the Ki times. It's only really going to be those Ki times where you're going to be seeing a little bit of an increase in difficulty. Outside of that, it's going to be the same ship sailing throughout the entirety of this map. CS4 AR 9.73.5 minutes long as well. So you got a lot of big combos that have to be built up if you want to make a massive impact. And with players like Freddy Benson, Decayden coming in, I don't expect anything less from this Together We're Terrific team. They're going to be very strong on this.
Yeah, players like Decayden, Freddy Benson, Rectagon, all very, very strong on this. I think you expect Window Life as the last member here for Together We Are Terrific, based on who they've shown so far. Generally wouldn't expect Taquito for Hard Rock, but it is going to be Taquito regardless here. Versus now Kama, Riot, Intercambing, and Mathy. So the core three in once again here for Hatsune Miku, as well as Riot, who has played actually the same number of maps as Mathy, but just hasn't had quite the same showing because of how well the rest of the roster for Hatsune Miku has been playing. Right? It's not even that Riot's been playing poorly, it's that the rest of the roster has been absolutely popping off. So in for the Hard Rock one now. It's 4-4. Both of these teams are past that halfway mark, right? It's a best of 13. You need 7 to win. 4 is more than half of 7. So we are a good ways into this match, even if it goes to tiebreaker. This is past the halfway point now. And both of these teams feeling the pool getting whittled down a little bit. The picks staying relatively close, and hoping to see that here as well. Kama and Riot are going to find some early misses on this one, but everybody else holding on to the full combos for now, and only about a collective 250 combo down for Hatsune Miku at the start here.
Yeah, so far so good on the side. Together We're Terrific. Only an early double miss there from Hatsune Miku players of Riot and Kama. Very, very early, though. You got plenty of time to keep that building up here. And this verse is pretty tame up until a few sharp, spiky jump sections, but you're going to be seeing that for the majority of this map here. A little bit of a jump section there, not leading to anybody going down here. And we're going to be getting into the build-up there. Decayden is going to drop down. Finally, one of the full combos for Together We're Terrific is shut down. And it's joined by Rectagon now, so it's evened out on the two full combos here, with Freddy Benson and Taquito duking it out against Intercamping and Mathy, but Riot has a really, really good recovery in this Ki. Rectagon goes down once again, uncharacteristically struggling on this Hard Rock aim here. Freddy Benson, though, and Taquito do have his back. Kama does go down, however. So it's Mathy, I believe, only man left. No, never mind. Mathy and Intercamping. The Chilean super duo duking it out past the Ki, keeping this team at least in contention for getting this flip back.
Yeah, Rectagon really struggling with the aim consistency here. No problems with the tapping. It feels like no problems with the reading either on 99 there, but definitely having a bit of trouble getting the combo back together. Decayden now has gotten some combos as well, but there goes Freddy Benson. That's one of the FCs gone for Together We Are Terrific. Riot, Mathy, and Intercamping all pulling up right now with the double FC plus the high supporting combo right now for Riot. The accuracy for Intercamping, a little bit of a struggle. Kama also finding the drop, but it's still the combo lead. It's still the score lead for Hatsune Miku. There goes Riot. That's one of the FCs down. Decayden plus Rectagon is enough supporting combo to match the double FC from Hatsune Miku, and the accuracy still better for Together We Are Terrific than for Intercamping or for Kama right now. Haven't said that too often about Kama's accuracy, but definitely struggling a little bit here on the Hard Rock aim, as really it's just all up to Mathy and Intercamping to match these high combos out of Together We Are Terrific, but the score still going back the way of the red team as the supporting combos have started to eclipse what an FC can do.
Yeah, there's only so much Intercamping and Mathy can do. You're really hoping for Kama and Riot to build something up, or hope for another miss there from one of the recoveries. Big jump section there, only leading to a double miss from the two recovery combos there from Hatsune Miku. Your two combos are still intact, but Intercamping is going to drop, and that's going to be really, really huge now. Freddy Benson is going to go on for the trade there. but Decadence still has Taquitos back there, and there is going to lead to the flip here for Together We're Terrific. Taquito, of all the players that was expected to do well on this, it's going to be him to hold on to that full combo, still remaining intact here for Together We're Terrific. Decadent as well, brilliant recovery, and as Matthew goes down, that's the last nail in the coffin for Hatsune Miku on this Hard Rock 1. There was a lot of chances there, but the recoveries were simply not enough to back up the full combos at the time. Taquito finally goes down, but he's done his job, and he's got Together We're Terrific one more win on the board. 2 points now ahead in a row now, shutting down that previous breakpoint deficit.
Yeah, now up to 5-4, the successful pick coming through here for Together We Are Terrific. And you said it, Shiba. Taquito, we didn't expect maybe to be the carry player for Together We Are Terrific on this map, but shows up when you least expect him, I feel like, these days. 950k for Taquito, matching the near FC from Matthew with just about the same accuracy as well. 740k from Decaton, matching the 755k from Intercambing. And then it just comes down to the supporting scores. Freddie Benson and Rectagon both ahead of Riot and Kama. And once again, it's the story of the supporting scores that we saw in the previous match manifesting here as well on that Hard Rock 1, as those supporting scores really making the difference there for Together We Are Terrific, pulling them ahead of Hatsune Miku on that pick and making the Hard Rock 1 theirs. Now for Hatsune Miku, your core roster has not been hidden players. You have, some players who can do pretty well on hidden, but you're picking into something that, maybe you're not completely certain about. You've had DT4 open for a while here, but I think more importantly, stuff like the Free Mod 2, the Free Mod 3 have to be considered, at least for Hatsune Miku right now.
I think.
Go on then.
I think Free Mod 2 is a little bit more uncertain than the Free Mod 3, considering that you have that lethal potential of players like Boshiman to come in here. We don't actually know if he's played it, because I haven't been many maps here that usually you'd expect Boshi to play, so maybe he's still in the lobby just waiting for his time to pounce, and that Free Mod 2 is definitely there, very precision heavy, and you also have Taquito, who's very capable on reading. I'm a little as uncertain on that Free Mod 2 than the Free Mod 3. I think Free Mod 3 is a much stronger option, but finally, they're going to be picking into a hidden map. Hidden 3, Dual Breaker XX, finally a hidden map, Dio. I feel like we haven't seen a hidden map played in ages.
We really haven't. I don't know if we saw one in the last match either.
We didn't, bro.
Yeah, no, haven't seen one since last night. So yeah, Dual Breaker XX here by Straver versus Getty. This is mapped by Sarenhide. This is another custom map in this pool. It is mechanics tech, and I say that mostly in the form of aim tech. There are a lot of 200 BPM streams in this map, but the main point of difficulty you'll find in this one is the back and forth cross-screen slider jumps. Horizontal cross-screen slider jumps is not something you find yourself saying all that often when describing tournament maps, but here we are. And fun fact, this was originally going to be a Hard Rock pick in this round, so you're welcome putting it in hidden instead of Hard Rock, because this would have been way too hard for a Hard Rock pool.
I mean, yeah, the slider jumps, imagine that plus Hard Rock. This would be really painful to play if you're a Hard Rock player.
It's 7.9 stars after Hard Rock. It's a little much.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's really, really tough. As I mentioned before, custom map by Sarenhide, a very, very popular tech mechanics mapper who is really, really good. It has made several huge bangers, so I'm not surprised to see this one in this tournament. Really, really fun map, but lots of short into giant jumps. Oh no, different map, hold on. Never mind, wrong map. Like Kima Mech Tech, it's really high spacing slider jumps. I mean, it's really difficult slider jump aim. It does have those general conventional like Mech Tech mechanics in that, but I'm looking at those specific sections that, from what I remember, were so present in this map. So many sections that just have those raw slider jump aim where you have a mix of those short sliders, but you also have those really long ones that you have to keep yourself intact for. So having a really signature hidden tech player is really important, and both of these teams really have them. Will Cookie and Taquito from both sides here, really powerful players that I'm looking at to really dominate on this one.
Yeah, we see Intercambing and Kama coming back in here for Hatsune Miku alongside Arnold, who maybe not a tech player, but a very, very good hidden player, so keep an eye on him as well. Window Life, Rectagon, and Decaton joining Taquito for Together We Are Terrific to try and take another break point and secure match point on their next pick. We're into it. The pool has been thinned out. The maps have been pretty close for the last few now, ever since that DT3 really. And both teams, I think, kind of feeling the pressure here. Hatsune Miku, especially on this pick, really wanting to convert this to at least guarantee that they have access to their last pick before the tiebreaker.
Here we go, intersection about to come through now. Karma, first blood here dropped for the side of Hatsune Miku here as we get into that first little Ki time. You see these big sliders here and there, quite a bit of aim required there as well. A few moments of finger control and overlap aim as you see there, trips up Window Life and Arnold. Into camming as well, joins in the misses together with Terrific holding on to an early advantage here. Rectagon, Decade and Takedo still holding on to their full combos here. Window Life drops once again as that stream is hit by everybody here. Takedo and camming are going to be trading misses. Once again, Rectagon and Decade remain to be the two combos that need to be contested fully. Will Cookie's trying his best here to keep one intact here, but he's dropping quite a bit of accuracy in those slider jumps there. Doesn't lead to a drop just yet. Takedo is missing once again, uncharacteristically here, but it doesn't really matter if you're looking at Takedo and Rectagon here, still looking good. Will Cookie, though, is going to go down. That's a giant combo to be dropped here for Hatsune Miku. As that halfway mark is reached, this is looking really, really dire here. You've still got Rectagon and Takedo, but you don't have a lot to contest them. Takedo, though, is going to go down, and there's some room.
It's all eyes on the bottom left corner of the match. Hydrogen Bomb, Rectagon. Can he find a way to keep this on the side of Together We Are Terrific? Or can Hatsune Miku pull this back? Yeah, Dekaten's miss was actually Bancho. So that bottom corner for both players on Together We Are Terrific still going strong. And more misses to come through for Kama, Will Cookie, and Intercamming. This map is over now. And the bottom row for Together We Are Terrific just absolutely pulling it out. Rectagon will find a slider break here right before the end. It's a miss for Decaten as well, but it just will not matter. Arnold will find the slider break to follow it up, and the combos reset all across the board, meaning that this last little bit of the map is not going to impact the outcome. It is Together We Are Terrific ahead by 360,000 points going into the ending here, and that is a break point. That is match point 6-4 in favor of the red team.
Absolutely, another disastrous mispick here for Hatsune Miku. People forget how dangerous Rectagon is on this tech, on the hidden as well. Decaded as well, always renowned to be a hard rock player, but both of these guys proven their worth on this hidden tech. One miss from both players, 600k, high 600ks here from both Rectagon and Decaded. Really impressive scores, and that in turn has led to a giant momentum slap there against Hatsune Miku. Together We're Terrific now, one map away from advancing and knocking out this team.
Tough shakes for Hatsune Miku. Now they're down 4-6. They need a break point and they need a win on their next pick just to force the tiebreaker. And this is loser's bracket, by the way. These are not even teams in the winner's bracket. This is not even the best rosters in the tournament. These two are fighting for a spot in the top 8 in loser's bracket. The loser here is eliminated top 12 overall in the tournament.
Yep.
So this is a very, very important pick right now for Hatsune Miku, or for Together We Are Terrific here, to try and close it out cleanly, not give Hatsune Miku access to that last pick of theirs. And yeah, you win the Hidden 3, you won the Hard Rock 1, you won the DT 1, you won the Nomad 1. I feel like Freemod 1 and Hidden 1 have to be calling their names at this point, right? They've won all of the aim maps so far in this match. So it has to be, at least in the back of their minds, that Hidden 1 and Freemod 1 exist and are still open and are probably pretty good picks at this point, right? I feel like Hatsune Miku definitely more want to consider the DT4 and the Freemod 3, but for Together We Are Terrific, the Hidden 1 and the Freemod 1 just look so good here.
I mean, Together We're Terrific have to continue playing this with no mercy at all. They have to really keep themselves on their toes and keep playing, because if Hatsune Miku are to get a breakpoint on this, it could be really deadly. As you mentioned before, they've proven to be the team that can really outshine on aim. Freemod 1, Hidden 1 are still open. But it's not. It's going to be Freemod 3. Tatakai is going to be picked here. Now, this was something I don't think we expected here, Dio. This is a Hatsune Miku predicted pick here. But I'm happy to see it, man. It's a banger. And if there's a chance that makes this match any closer, I'm happy. Tatakai has been picked here, the Freemod 3. This is your ridiculous level of control. General control. Both finger and aim control.
And you look back at the rest of this match, you see the Nomad 2 did go the way of Together We Are Terrific. A lot of the speedier finger control going the way of Hatsune Miku, and some of the flow aim going the way of both teams. So it feels like this is kind of up in the air a little bit here. Yeah, Together We Are Terrific did win the Hidden 3, but this is a very different sort of map. It's a very 1/6 burst heavy finger control, aim control, hybrid sort of map. Typically, you'd see something like this in a No-Mod 6 slot in a lot of pools around 2021, 2022. You're in free mod instead. Very difficult to read on Hidden with the slightly lower approach rate AR 9.4. And a little easier than usual on the Hard Rock with the CS 3.8, so that precision not as much of a factor, but still very difficult on both mods. So both of these teams, I think, are going to have a hard time seeing very high modded scores, and both probably going to be leaning into those no-mod players as much as possible. We'll see exactly who feels most comfortable for both of these teams. The 1/6 in this map, by the way, are about 206 BPM, so not super high BPM, but some of them can be very long. There's some 17 plus note 1/6 streams in this map. So players have to be ready for that. You can't just be focused purely on the ult in this pick, or it will burn you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a tough map. Rhythmic heavy ult control with loads of switches. There's also a very specific, really scary stream pattern that I'm worried about here. I think particularly going to be tripping up our modded players. Outside of that, though, the mods aren't going to be what makes this map difficult. Just its general mapping style is going to be difficult regardless. It's indiscriminate. As you mentioned, the statistics on this map really favor both mods. AR 9.4, quite nice for our hidden players, not too dense. CS 3.8, quite nice, not too precise for our hard rock players. Also, not too long, but not too short either. 1 minute 53 seconds here, which means it's going to be a little bit more dense, and this song really stays consistent in its difficulty. There aren't that many slowdown sections in this map, so you got to keep yourself on your toes throughout the majority of this map, and if you slip up even just a little bit, this map will really, really punish you. Also, I think, in my opinion, it's one of the harder maps in the pool, just generally, just straight up. I think this map's really, really difficult, no matter what mod you run. So any massive combo will be massively acknowledged.
By the way, Shiba,
here we go.
First time this match, we've seen number 37 in
He's
for
in!
Hatsune Miku. He is in. When their tournament life is on the line, they put him in for this map. This is the very first map that he has played, and they are down match point right now. So this is an incredibly important map for number 37 to come in on. Already we see breaks all over the place. Rectigon, Decaton, Mathy, Intercambang, and number 37 right at the start of the map. Gonna break here, so it's Kama with the FC, now gone as well for Hatsune Miku. Takedo and Window Life on the FCs for Together We Are Terrific. Number 37 with another reset here in the aim control section. Takedo is gonna match on the hidden there. It's Window Life on the Nomad FC, the only high combo in the lobby. Decaton not too far behind on the Hard Rock, and Intercambang a little lower on the Nomad, but matched by Rectigon. It's just breaks all over the place, but unfortunately more of them for Hatsune Miku in spades here. 200,000 score lead when the team scores are still under 1 million, Shiba.
I mean, this is such a short map, like I mentioned, but so many people are already dropping down. Such a difficult map to build consistent combo on, but it remains Rectigon to be the one standing here on the no-mod, unexpectedly, to be the one performing on this. Number 37, though, not too far away. 250 combo with really abysmal accuracy, to say the least, unfortunately, and he is going to drop that combo. Karma has to hold on and keep this team hopes and dreams alive here. We're getting close to the final quarter of the map, and this is short, man. There's not a lot of time left. The clock is ticking. Intercambang and Mathy are building onto a good recoveries, though. Window Life does go down, but the rest of Together We're Terrific are contesting everyone here. Rectigon remains completely untouched here, and as long as he can hold on, this team is not going to be losing any stride in their step. Decaden goes down, but 320,000 score might just be all that they need to continue their run at the Perennial. Hatsune Miku tried their best, even bringing out a last chance trap card in number 37, but it simply is not enough. Together We're Terrific will advance and shut down Hatsune Miku's odds of getting through and advancing into the finals losers bracket stage. Together We're Terrific will win the map 7-4.
Incredibly close match. I mean, it's one break point, right, that separates these teams from each other. Together We Are Terrific with the first pick overall, able to take advantage of that break point and close it out 7-4 before Hatsune Miku even had the chance to give their last pick. So that first pick for Together We Are Terrific paying off a little bit here after that break point, and they are able to take the match cleanly. Very nicely done from them. I'm going to move us along here on the outro because we do have another match going on. But first and foremost, congratulations to Together We Are Terrific. They continue their run here in the Perennial. They secure top 8 in that losers bracket match. And thank you to playing for Hatsune Miku. It was a pleasure watching them throughout the tournament, but they meet their end here at the hands of Together We Are Terrific.